I'm excited about this conference today. I'm excited about what God is going to do. I'm excited about the breakout sessions, the equipping and the encouragement that I know God wants us to have.
If you read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, you will see that whenever God wants to do something for his kingdom purpose, he picks a man. In fact, that was the challenge that he gave to Ezekiel when he said, I looked for a man and I searched for a man who would stand in the gap, and the sad response was, I found no one. My prayer is that God would not have to say that about your neighborhood or your church or your city, but that you would be the man to stand in a gap.
Unless the Lord, twice in verse 1, unless the Lord, except the Lord, he says. In other words, if God doesn't show up, it's not getting done. If God's not in it, it's not going to work. Unless the Lord does what? Unless the Lord builds, unless the Lord creates, unless the Lord makes, unless the Lord builds a house, he says the builders, they do what? They labor in vain.
In Romans 8:29, he said, those that I foreknew, I already predestined to be conformed into the image of my son. Those that I predestined, I already called. Those that I called, I justified. Those that I justified, I glorified. So what then can you say? If God is for you, then who can be against you? And at that moment it hit me, and I realized that I have been called, and you have been called, and your sons have been called, and your daughters have been called. Your grandchildren have been called to nothing less than greatness.